Good morning, friends. Some people are still joining, so we'll start in a minute or two. Okay, so let's start with the status of Nifty as of now. Now, if you observe Nifty over here, yesterday it gave a big bearish anchor column from 10,985 to 10,890, and as long as it is within that range, it will remain sideways. In the morning, it's today also it went up to almost 10,955. Now it is back near 10,930. Now to see what will happen to this, let's go to the 9,000 straddle. You can clearly see this 9,000 straddle consists of the call, which is 121, and the put, which is 89, and total is around 211. Now it is very clear Nifty is not strong, so it is unlikely that the call will go up further. So which means that this 121 will come down more than the put coming down, more chances of the call coming down, which means the straddle will keep going down. Right now it is 211, and it can, just to get a small idea of till where it can go, this is an anchor column yesterday. We can put a plot account, it can go towards 200 or even 180. So till that time, Nifty is likely to remain sideways. It can go towards 10,900. Of course, today's low also is a bit of a support, 10,920. So if that breaks, then maybe back to yesterday's low, 10,880 kind of levels. And as long as this straddle keeps going down, don't expect too much of a violent movement. It can be in this range of 10,850, 870 to 10,950 kind of level. And this straddle will guide as to where it is going. Now, if you plot the put on its own, we'll see what the put is saying. Now, this put also doesn't have too much of a strength. It is on a 1% chart. It is below the moving average, so it doesn't have a strength. It has not yet gone above the moving average. It had gone yesterday. On a 3% chart, also it is not strong enough. And if you go, let's see the call then. Now this is clearly a sign that it is showing again being sort of tired. but at the same time it has support near 100. If you see this big range, of course, yesterday's high near 170 is quite far off right now. It is only 121. And yesterday's low is near 100, 105. 3 days back also it had taken support near 100. So 100 to 170 remains the range. So maybe if it comes near 100 again, that time we can see if it is showing signs of reversal. But for that, for the call to go down from 120 to 100, that means 20 points. Nifty might go down by another 40 points, which takes us to that support level of 10, 880, 10, 900. So this is not the level to go long in any case. That is what it means. Nifty right now is maybe forming a triangle on an intraday chart, and the first hour, first morning column of X, it is still trading within that. And yesterday's low before the today's column of X was around 10,920. So as long as 10,920 is held, the intraday range will be 10,920 to today's high 10,955. And below 10,920, it may be another 20, 30 points. So that's all I think we can expect from Nifty today. And if you go to Bank Nifty also is showing similar signs, not weak yet, but definitely not strong. It is also showing sideways. And then if you look at the Bank Nifty 27,500 straddle, that is very weak. In fact, it is right now it is 500. And it consists of 268 call and 232 put. So this also might remain sideways. So I think there is this might be a day where you can just either sell straddle and keep a stop loss, or go to sleep or go for a movie. I think that this is might be that kind of a day. Now, if you look at Reliance, which has been strong for the last 3 days, Reliance again is showing tiredness. In fact, yesterday's high has not been crossed and it has already given a double bottom sell, but it is still above the moving averages. The exozone is still green, so it is not yet weak. But then right now it is 12:30. So let's take a look at the Reliance 12:40 call. That might tell you what it might do. In fact, the 12:40 call you can see on the left, extreme left, which is of course December, first week of December. That high was around 25. Yesterday also was around 22. So that is unlikely to be crossed. And if you see the behavior of the call since yesterday, it is not showing any strength at all. On a 3% chart, in fact, it has started showing a weakness. So any long in Reliance as of now at this stage is ruled out. But is the put giving any hint? Let's take a look at the 12:20 put. No, it has formed a base, fine. It is maybe a base near 10, 12 kind of level, but it is not showing any strength. So as long as maybe on the higher side up to 20 and lower side 10. So it seems unlikely that Reliance might not go below 1200, but at the same time it might not cross 1250. So again, maybe today or tomorrow again this might remain range bound. But this is definitely showing strength. It is just the start. So maybe one can buy a put maybe on a dip towards 13, 14 with a stop loss below 10. And you might get 18 to 20 on this Reliance put. Because the call is showing weakness, the futures is showing tiredness, and the put is showing a basing formation. It is not, you can call it a double top buy, it is on percent. In fact, it is a bear trap also. So on any dip with a stop loss below 11, good trade. Okay, now someone has asked about PNB. PNB is quite weak. In fact, this might be, I mean, when Bank Nifty is sideways, there are some stocks which will be strong and some stocks which will be weak. So PNB is definitely one of the weaker stocks. In fact, just now it has given a double bottom sell below 79 point. It has given a double bottom sell below 78.5. I mean, it is still there only, but with the stop loss above day's high or the high of this column of O, which is around 79.2, one can try a short. And AP put of PNB. In fact, since yesterday it made a base near 1 and now it is all the way near 2.8. So it was a good trade yesterday. And even today, if you go on a 3% chart, there is a resistance on near this high, which is around 3. And right now it is near that high itself. But above 3, it can jump towards maybe this high, which is 4.5 to 5. So this can be a good trade. Of course, the stop loss will be below 2. So that since PNB has a big lot size, that needs to be taken care of. Or maybe today's high of futures can be used as a stop loss. But definitely PNB is not a stock which one should be long as of now. Next query is Pidilite. Pidilite yesterday has given a double bottom sell on a daily chart, and again, although it is weak, as long as it is above 1145, 40, 45 levels, in fact, today also it has taken support near that. It can remain range bound on the higher side, 1160, 65, and lower side 1140, 45. Maybe a range bound in a 20-point range rupees. Below 1140, 45, it will be weak, definitely. But one thing one must see on this PNB chart, see, you can see this anchor column here, which was on 15 January, which went from 1145 to 1180. That low has yet not been broken. So as long as, like I said, 1140, 45, it can bounce, but right now it is sideways. Okay, Wipro. Wipro on a EOD chart has given a very good breakout after a long time. And even today, it is trading well above the breakout level, which is right now. I mean, the breakout was 345, 350, and it gave a very strong rise yesterday in the second half. And now also it is showing strength. So this is definitely a stock to be bought on dips, no doubt. Only thing is, for an intraday trader, the stop loss will be very tight below 348. And for a positional trader, the stop loss will be the low of this anchor column, which is 338. Okay, BEML. BEML also, it is on the EOD chart, it is again sideways, it is above the moving averages, but definitely not bullish. And even, I mean, like Nifty and Bank Nifty, everything is sideways. This is again sideways between something like 865. Though it has come down all the way from 930 to 860, again 875. Till it is 860, to be above 860, it can remain sideways, but definitely it's not strong and not worth going long here. In fact, to me, on a broader time frame, it looks weak. In fact, this might be a topping out pattern because it is making lower highs, and below something like 865, this will be very definitely weak. SBI. SBI has been a mixed kind of chart. If you see, there have been on a daily chart, there have been big anchor columns in the recent past. But yesterday also there was I mean, the current decline all the way from 303 to 300, 290 has been also in one single column. So again, it is sideways between 285 and 305. And as long as this range remains, this will remain sideways. Maybe one can try long towards the lowest point, which is 285, keeping that as a stop loss. Axis Bank 670 call. Axis Bank, it came down all the way from the new almost all-time high to something like 655. and from there it is showing some rise. So this 670 call right now is 14. It is showing strength, no doubt. And yesterday's low was near 11. So on any dip, this can be bought with the stop loss below 11. But again, on a 3% box size, it is below the moving averages. So it has to cross 17 for any strength, above which it can go towards 20. But on any dip, it can be bought with a stop loss above 11 for 16 and 20 targets. ICICI Bank. It remains strong on a daily chart, but on an intraday chart, again, it is showing consolidation. And you can see this, it's almost like a flag pattern. And as this, you can see this anchor column on the 8th and 9th of January, which went from 368 to 383. So as long as it is above 368, ICICI Bank is strong, and this can be just a consolidation, and it can go back towards maybe 380, 390. But there are no signs as of now, and it has to cross above today's high, which is 374, for further strength. Voltas. Voltas looks weak. In fact, this is not showing any strength at all. This big anchor column has given a target of 523 and 490. So definitely, this is one of the candidates to go short on a signal. Only thing is, stop loss right now is a bit far off, above 543. So on any rise, let's take a look at the intraday chart. Uh, yeah, above 545, 546 can be the stop loss, and if you get a rise near 540, you can short it with a stop loss of 56 rupees. Sun TV. Sun TV has given a big anchor column from all the way from 602 to 515, almost a 90-point drop. And right now it is showing a pullback on a daily chart. On an intraday chart, in fact, it is showing quite a bit of strength right now. You can see it has formed a base over 3 days, near 510, 512. And in fact, this morning it has given a double top buy. So this low of the O, which is 526, maybe with a stop loss of 525, you can buy it on any dip. Right now, it is not affordable because stop loss is quite far away. But again, it is above this resistance, which was near 536. So maybe it can go towards 560. If you take the vertical count here, it shows 548 and 565. So it is a good candidate for going long on dip with a stop loss below 525. TCS. TCS is one of the weaker tech stocks, IT stocks. Although it gave us good anchor column from 18 from the lows recently from 1880 to 1930. After that, it has done nothing. But as long as it is above 1870, 1875, in fact, even today morning it has stopped near that same level. It can rise, but then below 1880, it will be very weak. But right now, it is maybe one can try a long on dip with a stop loss below 1870. Maruti. Maruti has given a breakdown on a daily chart on a 0.25%. And if you look at the intraday chart, also it is showing continuation signals. It is showing follow through sell signals. Though it might take a pause here because it has come down sharply from 74, almost 7,500 to 7,000, so almost a 500-point drop in something like a week. The reason I'm saying this is if you go and see the uh, 7,000 put. this is near the resistance of 131, 140, 145, and that is something which might give a sort of a support to the stock because the put is at resistance. But of course, this put also has a good support near 90, 9500. So any dip towards 9500 on this 7000 put can be bought for a target of 140. And Maruti remains bearish, so there is no question of going long fresh here. You can see the 3% chart of the put. It has come all the way from 30 to 140. But one near 135, 140 on the 7000 put, one needs to be cautious. At least don't take any fresh shots in Maruti. On rise, it remains a sell. If you look at the intraday chart again of Maruti, 1 minute. Today's high, which is near 71.40. So with the stop on any rise near 71.30, 71.40 with the stop loss above yesterday's high, which this is about 71.60. This X column of X. So as long as that is not crossed, this remains weak and to be sold on rise. Zeal. Though Zeal has been weak, it is showing some support near 435, 440 levels. And in fact, similar to Sun TV, don't forget both are from the same sector. And both are, in fact, this on a daily chart, if it shows a good anchor column again, this can be a pattern retest. What we call in traditional candlestick like a double bottom. And this, in fact, is showing a good, it has given a good anchor column in the morning, 423 to 436. So as long as it is above 434, it remains a good buy. And just to calculate the targets, it can go towards 450 or 465. So any dip, buy it with a stop loss below 430 for target of 450, 452. Mindtree, which is quite a bit in the news today. Mindtree is a very strong chart, even on a daily chart, and 940 needs to be crossed on it. But then if you see this anchor column, which is all the way from 880 to 940, this is a sign of a strength, and it might, if it goes above 940, it can go quite far off, maybe even 2000. And if you go back to the daily chart on 0.25%, it is extremely strong. So there is no question of shorting Mindtree on a positional basis, and it can go towards 1000. That is what I feel, but it needs to close above 940. DLF. On a daily chart, DLF is not showing any promise. Only thing is, let's see the 45 10 line over here. No, there is no support nearby. On an intraday chart, it showed some good rise yesterday afternoon from 175 to 180, and it has stopped there only this morning. Maybe if it crosses 180, it can go a bit higher towards 187. But above 181, it can be bought for 187. But right now, it is again sideways like everything else. Ujjivan. Ujjivan has shown a very strong rise in it from its recent bottom in November, from October, from 180, and now it is 290, and it is consolidating. So again, it's not showing any signs of a fresh strength. It might correct a bit if you see the daily chart. In fact, it has given a double bottom sell. So as long as it is below 293 on the futures, it can correct, and till where it is a bit difficult to guess. But on dips, it remains a buy as long as it is about 270. But right now, it is not a positional buy because the stop loss is quite far. Sun Pharma. Now, like everyone knows, Sun Pharma has been extremely weak, and it has come down all the way from 460 to 380 kind of levels, and has shown a pullback. And as long as it is below 424, 425 on futures, it remains weak. I'll show you on a candlestick chart why I'm talking about 424, 425. This is a candlestick chart of Sun Pharma, and this was a decline all the way from 460 to 370. Now there is a gap here between. It made a low of 423.6 here. So as long as this gap, it needs to close above 424 for any strength. Till then, it might come down. So, and of course, after that, there is a resistance this low near 430, 435. That might act as a resistance. So 425 to 430 is a resistance zone. So unless it crosses, closes above 425 and then crosses 430, 435, it remains weak. This looks like a pullback move. Britannia. Britannia looks strong, definitely strong. In fact, there was an anchor column here from 3100 to 3200, and again today it is showing strength. So if it crosses 3220, it can go maybe till this 3250. It needs to cross 3250 for further strength, but it is strong right now, and one can expect 3240, 3250. Castrol. Castrol is one of the very strong stocks. On a daily chart. You can see there's a big anchor column from 147 to 168. And as long as it remains above 164, it remains bullish. And in fact, right now you can see it is already showing rise. And this big rise, it is consolidating in a like a flag. And it is definitely one of the stocks to be long in with a stop loss below 164. And on a higher side, it can go. It's difficult to say, but to calculate the targets. 175 is something which is possible, and if it closes above 169, then a bigger rise to 190 is possible, but it remains a buy on dips with a stop loss below 163. So okay, it is 11:30 and we have ended the time. Thank you for watching. Hope this helped. Thank you.